All right, guys, I am back from Iraq. Drones and missiles couldn't stop me from coming back and making videos. So I am back. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video. I'm excited to be back and actually making some content again. I believe the content will be higher quality now that I'm here. I've been gone for about 6 months or so, if you didn't know. So yeah, that's what's been going on. So today we're talking about Ark, the show, the recent show that aired on, I think it was Paramount Plus or something, but it's actually pretty good, and it's based on the video game Ark. If you haven't played Ark, it's fairly popular and it's pretty decent. I haven't played it super recently, but I still have played it quite a bit, so I know the game pretty well. If you know about the game, there's not a ton of lore, at least when I was playing it. There's not a ton of lore. It's mostly like experience based, where you get better and progress, survival, that sort of game. So it actually gave them a lot of room to explore and to really give the arc some lore. And it was kind of fun. It was good. They were able to make a good story out of it. Plus, I think the idea of having, dinosaurs with a modern age people is a pretty novel idea. I think it's pretty fun. I don't think it's super explored. I mean, obviously you have Jurassic Park, but that's more of having dinosaurs in modern times. This is kind of the reverse of that, of having modern people and dinosaurs being together. It's pretty interesting. So the idea itself is fun. So it's cool that we get some content based on that. I don't think the show is like a lot of other video game shows because or movies, because this one, again, doesn't have a ton of lore, so they're really able to explore without having a lot of conflict with the game, and they don't really have to worry about canonness really as much, I don't think. I'm sure there's probably some arc lore that I'm missing, but I personally I haven't seen any, and I played the game quite a bit, beat a few bosses, that sort of thing. Put some good hours in, but I haven't really seen a ton of lore other than just the experiences that you're able to play through in the game. I think Cyberpunk is a really good example of a video game show. It really lived up to the hype. It actually exceeded the game's hype and made the game more played. It brought up the numbers a ton, which was crazy to see. I think that's kind of like the golden example of a video game property being brought to film or more to streaming. But I think that's a great example because it actually built hype for the video game in a perfect way that made people go back and play it. And it actually added on to the game instead of conflicting with it or being non-accurate or something like that. Then you have stuff like Assassin's Creed, the movie. I'm sure you remember that stinker of a movie. It was pretty bad. I think that's the golden example of what not to do with a video game property in a show or movie. There's also The Witcher show, which I think is pretty middle of the road. I think it's a great show, especially in the first few seasons. I think now it's getting into away from what it could have been just because of the casting changes and the direction that the show's actually going now. But that's another pretty good example of a video game. Then actually coming out soon is going to be Fallout, which is very exciting. I'm really ready to watch that one. I really love Fallout. I've played Fallout quite a bit, especially Fallout 4. Fallout 76 sucked, but of course it did. Um, and I'm really excited to see what they do with the show. I'm hoping it's good. My fingers are crossed, but we will see. I'm hoping even down the future we might get something like a Skyrim sort of show. That would be pretty fun. Skyrim's got to be one of my favorite games, so of course I want a show. It would suck if they did it bad, but just having some content, some more content based around Skyrim would be pretty awesome, in my opinion. Go ahead and like or comment if you want that show to be kind of reviewed by me in the future. So let's get to the actual show. Spoilers, by the way. I'm going to be summarizing quite a bit of the show. So if you haven't seen it or you don't want spoilers or something, go ahead and skip this part or watch it and then watch this. So it starts out with this woman waking up in the water right off the shore of this island. She gets to shore and classically sees her, the stone device on her wrist. She finds a dodo bird and meets this army guy that's also stranded on the island. They kind of walk together a little bit. He explains he's from Normandy and she's from modern times. So it seems like people are being brought to this place kind of out of time. They seem to be from different times. That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, he gets killed right in front of her a few minutes later. It's pretty crazy, and we were introduced to the bad guys. They're led by this Spartan sort of guy who's the main leader of this civilization that they built here on the island. He's also like a paleontologist, dinosaur scientist, so that's pretty cool. It actually helps her out a lot. So anyway, she gets brought to this leader, and she's told about this powerful artifact, which she promptly steals after poisoning the leader because she sees all the horrible things that he's doing. Some dude got eaten right in front of her, which was pretty messed up. So she hates this guy, hates this kind of group of people right now. So she poisons him, steals the artifact. I don't understand why she doesn't just kill him. He's poisoned, he's paralyzed. Just get rid of the guy. I don't understand. It would have saved her so much trouble in the future. I mean, like, he's gonna come after you. You also do get some cool mechanics of the game. You get to see some artifacts, loot drops, raids, like you would do in PvP sort of deals. Taming, you get to see some taming. It's pretty cool. It's definitely some Easter eggs in there for the game players. It's pretty neat to see. She escapes the village after poisoning the leader, lets loose a bunch of dinosaurs. They eat some people and stuff, which is pretty awesome. She does meet this woman who is from like ancient China, which is cool. She's very good in combat, is also pretty cool. She's basically badass. They end up going to this cave where they fight this giant spider. I'm pretty sure I remember a Broodmother being the giant spider boss in Ark, but I don't know if this was that. I can't remember completely since it was probably a year ago since I've actually fought the Broodmother or so. Anyway, she does get an awesome loot drop, which is this giant energy gun rifle, which shoots a giant blast. She shoots the wall of the cave. It opens up a giant hole, and they kind of just walk out. This is where we get introduced to another village. This group of people is led by a Native American man named John. Apparently, Mei Yin knows this guy. Mei Yin, a woman from ancient China. She knows this group of people and John, and they seem to have a past. They used to be allies. There's a little bit of bad blood between them, but Mei Yin, the daughter of the leader, basically loves Mei Yin, and so they basically get let back to the village. Apparently, they've tried to defeat the Spartan guy before, but they were betrayed, and so the village of people are kind of done with trying to do that. But Mei Yin's convinced that this new weapon will help them defeat it. More things happen in this story besides these main points that I'm trying to take. So I will say that there's more. I'm not trying to spoil it all. I'm just trying to go over the main points. The village gets raided. The good guy village gets raided by the Spartan guy, and they use the gun, shoot some dinosaurs, but it doesn't really work out in the end. Mei Yin gets captured and brought back to the Spartan guy. They decide to rescue her, and they go on a raid of their own. And they go and raid the Spartan guy's camp, village, whatever you want to call it. And it goes pretty well, depending. There's a giant dinosaur revealed, a Giga, I believe. And it is very awesome. John unfortunately dies during the battle. They do rescue Mei Yin, and the Spartan guy kind of gets blown up a little bit, but he's not dead. He's just kind of roughed up a little bit and burned. There's also a lot of flashbacks and like stories with the flashbacks in this show, which is fine. You know, you get some more character development and stuff with that, but I'm not really going to talk a lot of. And so after rescuing Mei Yin, that's pretty much where the story ends for season 1. It's only 6 episodes, so there's not a ton that goes on in these episodes, in the series as a whole, rather. But there is a lot that happens in the episode. It is pretty good. I think it's like a 40-minute episode, something like that. so they're pretty substantial. It's a good show, and it's not too long, so it's not a bad watch, especially if you've played the game. The show kind of also gives a bunch of like massive teasers for the future for future seasons, which is pretty cool. It looks like there's going to be a lot of awesome stuff going on in the future. Um, it seems like they're going to be going to different places, like different islands, different scorched earth, probably. All these different places in Ark that you can go to. That's actually where I'm pretty sure scorched earth. I don't know if it is, but that's where the guy from Normandy wakes up. So he died early first episode, and I'm pretty sure he woke up. So it seems like if you die, you get transported to a different location, which is I'm looking forward to for the cool adventures of season 2. It seems like there's going to be a lot. Maybe they'll even up the episode count by a couple or so. It's not the best show, but it is pretty decent. And especially if you played the games, like I said, I think you would appreciate the show. It really gives off like a large server vibe where you're playing with a bunch of different players, and you got your different groups of people, and you raid each other, and you fight, and you tame dinosaurs, and all that. It gives a lot of that vibe, which is pretty fun. However, they're actually like living in this world, so it's a lot more serious than just raiding a camp with your friends. It's like life or death, literally. It would be cool to see like an offshoot or something of just like a single player mode where there's just one guy on the island trying to fucking figure shit out, like progressing and getting better, and his everything starts getting better where he's building up his house and trying to tame these dinosaurs and struggling, and it'd be pretty cool to see that. And that's pretty much my thoughts on the show. I think it was pretty good. I don't think it was the best, but it was pretty. Real quick, I do have another channel in the works with one of my friends. It's going to be a lot, very cool, very interesting. I'm pretty sure there's going to be weekly uploads on that channel, but I can't say too much more because it's still in the works. There's some stuff I have to do before we start that channel, but it will definitely be a fun watch. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.